Good morning, everyone. We are starting our lesson for the third quarter, and this is our first lesson. Lesson 1, entitled Describing a Mathematical System. Okay, let's go directly to the definition. A mathematical system is a structure formed from one or more sets of undefined objects, various concepts, which may or may not be defined, and a set of axioms relating these objects and concepts. And so a mathematical system is made up of or consists of the following. Number 1, a set or universe represented by capital U. Also, this consists of definitions, sentences that explain the meaning of concepts that relate to the universe. Axioms and postulates. Axiom is an assertion about the properties of the universe and rules for creating and justifying more assertions. These rules always include a system of logic that we have developed to this point. Postulate is a statement that is accepted without proof. And theorems. True propositions derived from the axioms of a mathematical system. When we put these things into practice, then we can understand. But for now, let's just set this for definition. Okay, let me continue. Here are the properties of a mathematical system. Number 1, closure. Close, from the word close, closure. S is closed under the operation of multiplication that is represented by two parentheses, enclosed by a parenthesis. If for any two elements A, B in S, the element A times B is also in S. For example, the naturals are closed under addition since adding any two naturals always results in another bigger natural. Example, if you will add numbers, then the answer will also be a number. We have there 2 plus 6 equals 8. 2 and 6 are natural numbers, and so the answer 8 is also a natural number. That's an example of a closure. Okay, let's try another one. Another one property of a mathematical system is the identity element. S has an identity element, I, small letter I. If for any element in S, A times I equals I times A equals A. Example A, 3 times 1 equals 1 times 3. It's the same as 1 times 3 equals, final answer, 3. So 1 is the identity element, which means any number multiplied to 1 will be the same number. Any number 1,000 times 1, the answer is the same number. It's 1,000. 1 million times 1, the answer is still 1 million. Negative 1 times 1, the answer is negative 1. So it is called the identity element of 1. Letter B, 3 plus 0 equals 3. 0 is the identity element. It means that any number added to 0 is still the number, like 3 plus 0. The answer is still 3. Now, let's try negative 10 plus 0. The answer is negative 10. How about 1,000,005 plus 0? The answer is still 1,000,005. And so, there. That's the identity when any number is added to 0. The answer is still the same number. Next, another property is the inverse element. If an element B in S is such that A times B equals B times A, I, then this element is called the inverse of A and B. This is called an inverse pair, like this. Sample, 3 plus negative 3 equals 0. 3 is positive, and so the inverse of positive 3 is negative 3. When you add them, the answer is 0, which means that any positive number added to its negative inverse pair, the answer is always 0. Like 5 plus negative 5 equals 0 because they have an inverse sign. One is positive, the other is negative. Another, we have a 9 plus negative 9. The answer is still 0 because they have different signs. The inverse pair of positive 7 is negative 7. The inverse pair of 100 is negative 100. So when you add them, the answer is always 0. Letter B, we have 3 times 1 equals 1. This is wrong. 3 times 1 equals 1. That the answer is 3. Oh, class, there's a correction. 3 times 1 equals 3. Okay. Okay, I have corrected it already. Letter B, 3 times 1 equals 3, which means there is an identity that when we multiply any number to 1, the answer is always the same number. Just like that, 3 times 1 equals 3. Or 1,000 times 1 equals 3. Okay, even if we will write first 1, then multiply to any number, the answer is still that number. 1 times 5 equals 5. 1 times negative 10, the answer is negative 10. Any number multiplied to 1 is still the same answer. Next, associative property. Associative property. If for any 3 elements A, B, C in S is multiplied A times B times C, this asterisk stands for multiplication. This is still equal to A times B times C. Even if you will multiply first A and B and then multiply to C, it's still the same if you multiply B first with C and then times A. The operation multiplication is said to be associative, which means anyone who comes first, the answer is still the same. Here are our examples. We have addition, associative property, and also multiplication. Sa A, it's addition. So we add first 2 plus 3. 2 plus 3 equals 5. Then 5 plus 5 equals 10. This is still equal even if we will add first 3 and 5 rather than 2. Have you seen this? Miski unahon tapan ni sila, kag i-add sa 5, it's still the same if unahon tas si 3 plus 5 and then plus 2. The answer is still the same. Okay, like here, 2 plus 3 is 5, plus 5, it's still 10. Kung unahon taman di 3 plus 5, it's 8, plus 2, it's still 10. That is the definition of associative property. In addition, equal sila gyapon. When it comes naman sa multiplication, miski sino pa una, class like this, 2 times 3 equals 6, 6 times 5 equals 30. Di ko multiply, ta naman niya ulihibi si 2, una naman si 3 times 5, that's 3 times 5 equals 15 times 2, it's still 30. That will mean the same, which means sa associative property, miski di unahon mo, sa masugod ka, bisa sugod-sugod, or sa punta, still it's the same. Okay, addition lang kag multiplication. Sa subtraction kag division, lain naman na. Okay, number 5, property that's commutative property. Commutative property. If for any 2 elements A, B in S, A times B equals B times A, the operation multiplication is said to be commutative. Class, in short, this is suli-suli, no? A times B, suliun mo man, B times A, the answer is still the same. Again, ang commutative property para sa addition and multiplication. Example, letter A, we have 3 plus 4. The answer is still the same with 4 plus 3. Miski suliun mo, ang unang number, paulihin mo, 3 plus 4, 7. Sa piya ko na mo naman si 4 plus 3. The answer is still 7. Same with multiplication. Letter B, 3 times 4 is 12 equals 4 times 3. Miski unaham ni 4, multiply si 4 kay 3, or 3 or 4 man na. 3 times 4. The answer is still 12. Again, associative, commutative, parehos, no? They are applicable in addition and multiplication. Okay, I think this is the last property of mathematical system. The distributive property. The sum of 2 numbers times a third number is equal to the sum of each added times the third number. Which means, gina-multiply mo class distributive, gina-extend mo sa iba niya number. Okay, just like we have here, gina-distribute mong power ni 3 kay 4. Sige, I'll give you an example. Continuing with the example of distributive property, we have there example A, 3 times quantity 2 plus 4 equals, is still the same with, if we distribute the power of the multiplicative power of 3 to 2 and 4. So, isa-isa ho, may distribute mo si 3. 3 times 2, there. And then, separated by a plus sign. Si 3 naman, distribute mo naman sa 4. So, Even if i-add ta una, 2 plus 4, that's 6, times 3, that's 18. Kung isa-isahon taman, 3 times 2 is 6, plus, then 3 times 4 is 12. So 6 plus 12 is still 18. Right? They are still the same. Okay. Now, here is our lesson activity 1. Okay, keep on repeating the video so that you can answer quarter 3 lesson 1 activity. This is true or false only according to the properties and the topic that we have discussed. This is 1 to 10, true or false only. Thank you so much.